Hello, I'm Kim Gill with KIMetal with Kim Gill, and I'm sitting here with the amazing Otep, who is like my favorite polymyth of metal. How are you this evening?
I'm very well, thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for taking the time to do this interview. I really appreciate it. And we're gonna talk about her new album, Generation Doom, which is in stores now and which is also climbing the Billboard chart. Congratulations on all the success.
Thank you. We couldn't do it without the fans, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You guys are amazing. And what I wanted to ask you about the album was that it covers a lot of personal topics, and this is like one of your most personal albums to date. Being that you covered so many personal topics, and it's not a concept album, what would you like listeners to take from the story that you're telling with this album?
I hope they can relate to it, you know, in their own way. I mean, I try to pull and source a lot of the material for this record, especially from my poetry books and journals and things, but I keep it vague enough using universal language so that people can apply it to their own lives and their own experiences. So hopefully they can relate to it, and if they haven't had the experience, at least they know somebody, or perhaps it will ignite that sense of empathy, which I think is extremely rare these days, compassion, empathy, those kind of things. So that's what I'm really hoping for the record, and hopefully people just like the music too. You know, we had a lot of fun writing it.
Everybody get your fists up in the sky. This is the universal sign of protest, yeah? It's another new song. This song is dedicated to anyone who's ever been bullied. Anyone who's ever been told that they can't live their authentic self. You're welcome. To the fucking legislatures in North Carolina and Mississippi. This song is called Equal Rights, Equal Lefts.
Fight for your right to exist. Equal rights, equal lefts. Fight for your right to exist. Equal rights, equal lefts. Fight for your right to exist. Fight for your right to exist.
And which one resonated with you the most on the album?
I don't know. They were all so great. I mean, we started off with Zero and Lords of War, and then those songs were really important because my guitar player Aristotle and I, we started writing the record just for us. We were going to put it out ourselves maybe, or just have fun writing songs, and so those were very important, I think, in the fact that they were the origin of the album. But I think one of the songs that resonates with me right now politically is Equal Rights, Equal Lefts.
My favorite song of the album.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Simply because we, the gay and lesbian community, are still under attack legislatively in Mississippi, in North Carolina. They tried it in Georgia. They call it religious liberty, but in fact it's really, you know, a way to discriminate against, you know, the free and loving citizens who are Americans, who pay taxes, but are being hurt right now, and their civil rights are being violated. Our civil rights are being violated because someone has a problem with it. Well, it's not their job to legislate what they think is right or wrong.
Absolutely.
We have rights just like everybody else, and it's time for us to fight again. You know, we've been fighting this for a long time, and I think we got to follow Harvey Milk's legacy, and you know, have all of the you know, gays and lesbians come out of the closet, because when they know us, it's harder for them to discriminate against us.
And being openly and aggressively against politics and pop culture while being openly lesbian during such an anti-LGBT time, how do you feel you managed to become such a successful artist?
I think it has to do with our fans. I think that they love who we are. I think that they love the fact that I speak my mind, and that they agree with the opinions. It's always a little shocking to me when people say things like, "Oh, you're saying what I think," or saying what I wish I could say, and I kind of always ask them, why don't you just say it then? But I think that's why. I think that we speak to a very large majority of people who feel like they don't have a voice, and we're trying to give them a voice.
And I feel like even with women in metal, especially that when we're outspoken or we try to like express ourselves outside of our art, we are always criticized about being drama queens or being constricted to agree or think a certain way. Do you think metal has an attitude towards women that needs to be shut down or that needs to be eliminated?
Well, it's gotten better. I mean, I think when I first started, I was one of the few female-fronted bands that got. I mean, what was the first female-fronted band to play Ozfest? I mean, we were really one of the first bands to break a lot of stereotypes, and you know, we even inspired, whether they want to admit it or not, a lot of other female-fronted bands and I'm happy to have that. I'm happy to see it. But you know, I think there is this sort of misogyny that exists in all music. It does. It exists. It exists in all parts of society. It's not just metal. It's not just hard rock. It's not just artcore or rapcore or whatever, new metal or whatever it is they're going to call us this week. I think women in general have a certain idea about what women are supposed to be, what women are supposed to do, and I think that it's up to us to continue to speak loud and to defy those particular stereotypes. As far as should it be shut down in metal, I mean, I think we just got to fight back against it, and in the right way. I mean, if you pander to what people think you should wear, if you're you know, there was a time when people said women had no place in metal unless you played a certain role. If you had your titties out, if you were, you know, just like trying to play the sex aspect of it, then I think, you know, you deserve whatever sort of misogyny you receive. But if you're up there trying to fight for, you know, for yourself and for your art, and just be judged based on the merits of your talent, then I think that's a worthy fight to have.
And let's talk about because before you signed to Napalm Records, you had issues with your label trying to like constrict you and put you in the bubble and tell you how you should think and how you should sound and what you should say. What made Napalm Records the perfect fit for Otep?
Well, it's been a struggle. I mean, part of the reason that, you know, we've had trouble with labels in the past is that they worry so much about the political aspect of what I say and what damage that does to us, and what it might do to record sales or polarize audiences and things, and I've never really seen that. What I've seen is it draws more people to us. And so, you know, with this record, especially with Generation Doom, what I've asked for people to, you know, help us continue to make an impact in the music industry by supporting the album. They can, I don't think consumers really understand how much power they have to change the direction, to chart the course of the music industry simply by buying albums of the bands that they support, because record labels don't look at, most of them don't care about the genre, they don't care about the music, they don't care about the caliber of it. All they care about are the sales, period. They're a company, and then rightly so. That's all they should be cared about, because that's what they're trying to stay in business. So it's up to the consumers to support the bands they love and not just say, well, fuck the corporations. Yeah, sure, fuck the corporations. By supporting the bands you want to see, get more opportunities, get more freedom to say what they want to say and speak what they want to speak. With Napalm, it took, I spoke with them about 7 to 9 months just to really understand who they are, let them understand who I am, especially, and you know, to make sure that they were the right label for us to partner with. And so far, they've been wonderful. So there's been a few times when they are a little bit concerned about some of the things that I say, and that's when I go to the fans and say, hey guys, they're worried I said something, you know, and so hey, go buy a record or buy a single for us so that they can see that the sales aren't dropping, sales are rising, and that's all they care about. And then I can tell them, this isn't a conversation. Are sales going up or down? They're going up, then there's no need to have a conversation. Just let me do my thing. You know?
And one of the main goals with you in Generation Doom is to challenge industry politics. Do you feel that you're achieving that? And what can we do as music lovers to ensure that artists are profiting for to create new art?
Buy the records. Period. I mean, that's it. Buy the albums. I mean, when you come to the tour and you buy merch, you're supporting the tour. You're supporting the cost for salaries and crew and fuel and all and living conditions and so forth on the road. That's a completely separate entity than buying the album, because the album there's the loan to pay back from the record company, there's the studio, there's the producer, there's all these people that work so hard to try to make great music, and they do it because they love music. They can do anything else in the world. They could go into the tech industry, they could become real estate agents, but instead they want to make music. And so as consumers, support the bands you like. If you don't like a band, don't buy their record. But if you like the band, then buy their record. And that allows us to have staying power. That allows us to have, because we don't have a union truly in music. So our only real position of power is to say, we've sold this amount of records. Be quiet. That's all. That's what gives us power.
Which platforms would you recommend that fans buy from?
I mean, I love if an artist makes a record with really great art, then I suggest buying a physical copy. I love that. But if they don't, if it's just a simple whatever, then I'm also a fan of buying an MP3. Sometimes I'll buy both just because I want to have it in my car and I want to be able to, or I want to have it somewhere else. But if you have and a lot of times people are finding out right now with Generation Doom they can't get it in the stores because it's sold out. So if you want it right now, buy it on Google Play, buy it on Amazon Prime, or buy it on iTunes, because you'll get it immediately. And if you buy the deluxe edition, you can get a copy of my actual lyric book, plus you get, I think, 3 or 4 bonus songs. I mean, we really tried this time to give people options. You can pre-order bundles, you can get vinyl, you can pre-order bundles, and you can get t-shirts, pre-order bundles, and you get the deluxe digi, or you get the jewel case, or if you get online and you get a deluxe version with the digital copy, you get a copy of my lyric books. We really tried to give people options for everybody. So, and if you just listen to Spotify, then just leave our channel on 24 hours a day and just let it repeat.
Word. Okay, you're an artist with all respects, and your influences derive from many different styles of music and even beatnik poetry. And you're actually a friend of Jack Kerouac.
I'm a fan of Kerouac.
And being that there was a lot of backlash recently against hip hop and rap by people like Simmons, The Kiss, and Phil Lewis of LA Guns, who openly dismissed rap and hip hop as art forms. At you incorporating those styles of music into your music, how would you respond to statements like that or attitudes like that?
I apologize being that I'm a friend of Nick Simmons, I apologize to him endlessly. But his father, I don't know if he really comes from a position of authority, considering that he dresses up in weird makeup and wears like platform boots and they sing a song called Love Gun. I'm not really sure that that's much of a lyrically important song. I know they sold a lot of records and I know they sell a lot of merchandise, but what does that matter? I don't think he's in any position, because there's a lot of people who don't think Kiss are a real rock band, that they're just all gimmicks because of what they do. I'm not really sure about LA Guns. I don't really want to talk about fossils too much. So, Hip hop's here to stay. They dismissed it a long time ago. Its origins go all the way back to the beginning of humanity, when our oral traditions were passed down, our gods, our stories of triumph, all of those things were passed down, and then it goes into the Irish bards, and then now into a popular culture, and it's not going away. It's in everything. I mean, you got McDonald's commercials are rapping. I mean, it's like it's permeated. It's part of the culture. At one time, rock and roll was considered not to be an important, was what they didn't think it was going to last long. So I don't know. I don't think these people have any. Why do they care about rap anyway? Don't listen to it if you don't like it. It was a very big part of of my formulation as an artist. That's the first music that I listened to. It's the first music that I wrote was hip hop. Mm-hmm. Getting into a new metal band, I was able to incorporate those elements of rhyming and into the music, and that's why I love that genre. New metal changed music just as much as grunge changed music, and I'm still very proud of that. And I'm not ever going to change. Half our set, maybe the majority of our set, is rapcore, and I'm not going to ever walk away from that. And I appreciate the genre very much. It's gone through some weird stuff. There's still a lot of homophobia in hip hop, and that's another reason why I wrote Equal Rights, Equal Lefts, was to go into that world and challenge them on why they're able to say things that are homophobic and other people can't. But they get offended if I said a racial slur about Puerto Ricans or something. I mean, I think that I'd be strung up or something. But Lil Wayne can say all up on some faggot shit, or Drake can say whatever he says. Kanye can say something about a blonde dyke and nobody speaks nothing. People can say we all loving their boys but no homo. Why do you gotta characterize it like that? Why can't you just love your boys? Unless you're really nervous about people considering you got an issue. That's your problem. We ain't going anywhere. Gay people ain't going anywhere. And we belong in hip hop just like anybody else.
And would you see yourself, would you see yourself venturing into rap or collaborating with some artists because you're friends with them?
We talk about it all the time. It's been talked about for a long time, especially since I was, I did Def Poetry twice, and I'm friends with Russell Simmons, and we talk about it all the time about doing side projects and stuff. But every time it comes up, those songs just get incorporated into the next Otep album. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to do a side project when I can just put it into Otep.
And recently we lost Prince, who was such a prolific artist, and aside from his music, he was known for challenging industry politics, and sure. I see a lot of the qualities he possessed in you as an artist. Do you feel that he inspired you in any way?
Oh, absolutely. He was one of my favorite artists, and I was devastated by the loss of him. I mean, he not only did he challenge industry politics, he challenged everything. His lyrical androgyny, his physical androgyny. Am I straight or am I gay? Just am I white or am I black? I mean, in all of just even in his lyrics, the way that he stood up against that, and especially during that era, it was so conservative, and he was singing about sex and love and God, and in these weird kind of intertwined ways. I mean, he was probably the first artist that taught me that poetry belonged in music, and that you could be personal, and that you could challenge whatever the status quo is, and be empowered by it. So he was definitely one of my influences, and boy, how empty the world feels right now without him.
I feel it too. And the last question is, the name of the show is called Keep It Metal. How do you keep it metal, Otep?
How do I keep it metal? I don't know. I just be me. That's what I think. I think just being authentic. Every day we just live your authentic self, and I think that's the spirit of this genre, and I think any aggressive alternative genre is about being yourself and being unique and loving yourself for it.
Thank you, Otep, and I appreciate you doing it.
Thank you very much for having me.
And that's it. I'm Kim Gill, and this is Otep. Make sure you pick up Generation Bloom, any platform, or just buy the album, please. Challenge industry standards, industry politics, prove a point, make a statement with your dollars.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. If it comes through the glass. So it's when it comes through the, you know what I mean?
Since I was 16.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I used to listen to it every day in high school.
I was very proud of this record. Okay, how you pop this out though? I think you gotta take
I've done it a few times.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I think.
That's cool. We were ahead of our time, I'll tell you.